Good evening, everybody. Hell's Unicorn once again, and this is going to be another shout-out video. This time I'm going to be giving a shout-out to MoreRockin. That's MoreRockin, and there is a link to his channel in the description. I made it a stated mission goal of this channel, a short-term mission goal at that, in trying to do everything that I can to deflate the Herman Cain mythology that began perpetuating itself in the aftermath of the first Republican primary debate. And thus far it seems that several others have taken on a similar cause, and I'm going to be networking with all of them. I've also included a link in the description to the video titled Who is Herman Cain?, which is a response to Herman Cain's obvious rip-off of an old Ron Paul ad from 4 years prior. This person has been brought in for one purpose simply, and that is to take the steam out of the Ron Paul engine and to split the Tea Party, primarily because it looks like that Sarah Palin is not going to be running. Saints be praised for that one. And Michelle Bachmann is not declared yet, so we need somebody to steal Ron Paul's thunder while we can, and Fox News is in there, of course, to play interference along with Mr. Cain. I'm going to basically finish off my thoughts on this. Not so much by talking about Herman Cain, because I've already done this and other people have done this. The information is out there. If you want to find out about it, you can find out about it. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be talking about Cain's supporters here on YouTube, because they are so similar to the Obama zombies of 4 years ago that it's not even funny. You literally throw fact A, fact B, and fact C at them. You source the information, and they will pretend that you didn't say anything and just use idiotic binary reasoning like, ooh, you must be a liberal because you don't like Herman Cain. You know something? I take offense to that. I am not an idiotic, mainstream media whorish liberal. I'm a libertarian. Some of the smarter Herman Cain supporters have figured this out, and have, instead of simply calling us liberals, they refer to us as libertarians, but then they attack us on the exact same points that they do the liberals. In other words, they recognize our name, but not our distinctive policy views. These people don't know what to do when they see reality presented towards them. So they essentially superimpose an image of monkeys bouncing around on pogo sticks. That's the way these morons see us right now whenever we talk about things such as the problems of monetary policy that we deal with today, and when we bring up the fact that Herman Cain is an active and ever-vigilant shill for the establishment banks. He is in bed with the Federal Reserve System. He loves it. And the fact that it's the fifth plank in the Communist Manifesto doesn't faze him one bit, nor his moron supporters. But you know something? This is more indicative of the general problems that we have with the broader conservative movement in this country. We have a think tank called the Heritage Foundation that supposedly boasts being old guard traditional conservatism. But according to the testimony of Lew Rockwell and others who have had dealings with them in the past, the minute that you bring up the suggestion that it was wrong for America to support the Bolsheviks and Lenin when he overthrew the Russian government, you're not welcome in that group. It's okay to be anti-communist and to be anti-Stalin, but you criticize Vladimir Lenin, or you even bring up somebody like Anthony C. Sutton, who pointed out the fact that Wall Street was in bed with the Bolsheviks. Oh, you're going to be in for some bad times with those people. There is no actual conservative movement to speak of in this country apart from the Ron Paul 2007 Tea Party. That's just the way that it goes, really. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that this level of stupidity is still so prevalent even after all of these years of teaching and of insisting upon all of the facts getting out there. And the truth is a lot of this can be blamed on people like Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck, because they've been throwing out part of the story. Indeed, Fox News in general, with the exceptions of people like John Stossel and Judge Napolitano, a couple others, they feed out like about half the story, and then they throw in a bunch of poison along with it, and that slants a lot of these 2009 Tea Party people away from Paul and towards obvious fakes like Cain, and also it slants them towards further idolatry into the idiotic policies that have gotten us into the current situation that we're in. That's what we're dealing with here ultimately, is idolatry. We're dealing with people that have crafted an idol, which is their ideal version of what they think America should be, and they are on their knees worshiping it, and woe be anybody who tries to tell them that they're worshiping a false god. Oh man, that's not pretty. But that's what we're going to be dealing with. So, what's my advice for dealing with Herman Cain people? Start polite and start with facts. If they try to evade the facts, get a little bit tougher on them, and continue to get tougher and tougher until you reach the point where you have to switch over and just simply mock them. But don't give them any ground. Don't be conciliatory. Don't let it enter your mind that a Herman Cain nomination is something acceptable, because it's not. Not in the slightest. A Gary Johnson nomination, that's something I can live with. Ron Paul would be what I'd prefer, but I'll take Gary Johnson. But I'm not doing this lesser of two evils thing. I did it out of a sense of self-preservation in the 2010 election, and I supported an entirely Republican ticket because I needed a governor in this state that wasn't going to try to shut my business down the way that idiot Randall was with his stupid vegan animal activist mistress that he had. That's a whole topic for a whole other video, and I'll get into that at some point. But just keep in mind, Herman Cain is as much the enemy as Barack Obama is, and his supporters should be treated the same way that Obama's idiotic supporters are. Just something to think about. With prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.